Do you feel overwhelmed in your life right now? Perhaps you are trying to cope with work-related stress or an excess of personal responsibilities. Or perhaps you just feel as if there is too much going on in your life right now. In these situations, it is necessary to take a step back in order to regain control. We are aware that it is not easy and that moments of overload may be extremely stressful. When watching this video, it's vital to keep in mind that all of the tips we're going to show you are only ideas. Do not feel compelled to do everything. If you feel overwhelmed by the steps, remember that any of these suggestions can be sufficient to getting you started. These techniques are intended to help you feel more in control, which is the purpose of this video. Take what appeals to you as a starting point and go from there. Welcome to Relentless Man. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Please share our channel and look out for our up-and-coming videos. Why do you feel overwhelmed constantly? One of the first stages in this process is to have a deeper understanding of why you feel overwhelmed all the time. Awareness is the first step towards being able to change anything around for the better. Here are some reasons why you may feel overwhelmed. Saying yes too often, overloading oneself, workplace exhaustion, overworking, you need a break, and a significant life change. Remember that we are all unique, each and every one of us. It may be one of the reasons we've just given to you, or it could be something altogether different. If none of the reasons we've mentioned apply, just ask yourself, why do I feel overloaded? What is the source of my distress? What recent alterations may have upset my life? Pause and listen to yourself to get the solution. Your responses might guide you to the required solutions. If you want to regain control of your life, consider using Relentless Man's tips. Do a brain dump. Your mind is likely congested, preventing you from organizing your ideas. Consider using a brain dump in these situations. Start by jotting down all of your thoughts. Include the following in your brain dump. Required tasks, repetitive ideas that keep arising, ideas you have, and things you are anxious about. Write down all of your ideas to cleanse your mind. If it's more helpful, write it down on a whiteboard, in a journal, or on a piece of paper. Once everything is visible in front of you, you can process what is occurring in your mind. Hopefully, you will then be able to evaluate what is significant, what is real, and what is not, and finally remember that you are secure and in charge of your own ideas. Take a break. One of the primary causes of our feeling overwhelmed is that we are too busy doing, and more doing. Oftentimes, stopping is useful to enable us to feel calm and composed. If you sense tension emerging, pause. Interrupt your current activity for a moment. Take a stroll, or pause and simply breathe. Consider taking a day off, or perhaps going on a vacation if you find yourself perpetually overworked. Clear your schedule and allow yourself time to relax. This may help you reflect and reset effectively. Chunking down. There is a technique in neuro-linguistic programming known as chunking down. When we feel overwhelmed, it is often because we lack clarity since we are too focused on the larger picture. When our ideas are hazy and ambiguous, our brain has difficulty processing them and determining obvious next moves. At this stage, you should chunk down, which means to break down all of our large ideas and get more precise. By being detailed, our brain has a clearer action plan, allowing us to gain control. If you completed a brain dump, the next step would be to chunk down these ideas, deconstruct any work that seems daunting. Here's an illustration of chunking down. I must clean the whole garage is the dominant thought. I may begin by discarding containers that are half full. I can organize my tools. I can organize nails and screws. Note that the concept of cleaning the whole garage might be somewhat overwhelming. However, when you break down the process and get more detailed, it becomes easier. Then you only need to concentrate on one task at a time. If you want to complete a job, divide it up as much as possible. This streamlines your brain process and decreases mental strain. After being precise, you will have some mental clarity. Declutter everything. Where do you spend the most of your time during the day? Which parts of your home seem cluttered and cause you to be anxious or stressed out? The environments in which we spend our time may have an effect on both our mood and our ability to think clearly. If our environment is tidy, uncluttered, and soothing to the senses, we will in turn have a greater sense of relaxation. Think about if the places you spend your time might be contributing to your feelings of being overwhelmed. If this is the case, clear some of the clutter and put everything in its proper place. These locations might be online or in the real world. Consider decluttering some of these areas in your home, your desk spaces, where you work, your cooking area or space, your smartphone, your desktop, and your email mailbox. Consider the places in your home that may make you feel overwhelmed, and then brainstorm some simple ways to clear the clutter there. One thing at a time. Do you multitask? It's possible that this is what's giving you more stress. We are aware of the reasoning behind it, which is that you want to maximize your level of productivity. However, doing too many things at once may often make our lives more difficult rather than easier. If you are good at juggling many things at once, give yourself the challenge of concentrating only on one thing at a time. Sometimes less is more. Watch the video from Relentless Man to see how toxic productivity may truly have a negative impact on both your mental health and physical health. Watch your inner critic. Our thinking and the voice of our inner critic are sometimes the greatest obstacles in our path. It's possible that we're clinging to the restrictive attitudes and beliefs which keep us feeling anxious and out of control in our lives. It's essential to keep a close eye on your thoughts. Your ideas do not in and of themselves have any particular significance. You have the freedom to decide how you deal with the recurrent ideas that come to your mind. We want to make sure that the ideas we let in are the ones that are beneficial to us. If that is not the case, then we need to make a concerted effort to reframe these notions. Set time limits for yourself. For significant undertakings and tasks, establish time constraints. Your calendar may quickly become dominated by time-consuming tasks, which can cause you a great deal of stress if you allow it to happen. Protect your time by setting aside certain blocks of time each day to focus on these projects. Because of this, you now have more time to focus on finishing the other items on your to-do list. Consider the following scenario. You are engaged in the completion of a significant project for your employer. It's possible that you'll dedicate most of your workday to completing that assignment, but you shouldn't worry about it while you're at home. In a similar vein, you could be making travel arrangements. You should give yourself time blocks of 1 to 2 hours to focus on the specifics, but you shouldn't stress about it while you're at work or with your friends and family. No list. Are your limits well defined? Boundaries educate others and ourselves of how we want to be treated and how we expect to be treated. The clearer our boundaries are, the more we can concentrate on creating the life we want. This also helps others in playing a supportive role. Start by creating a no list. Evaluate what things you will not accept in your life, the things that are a no for you. Clarify your boundaries and document them. The following are examples of items that could be on a no list. No working beyond 5 p.m. No work allowed in the bedroom. No meetings are scheduled on Fridays. No morning meetings allowed. No last-minute demands. There is no room in my life for people who are negative. The list might vary and develop as you do, but it is essential to adhere to the boundaries you set up. The list outlines your priorities. It is a kind of self-care. Once we begin to say no to things that are no longer beneficial to us, we create room for those things that are beneficial to us. Realize that there is no such thing as perfection. Forget about the concept of perfection, since it is an unattainable goal. The desire for perfection is a typical contributor to feelings of feeling overwhelmed. It is impossible to be perfect, therefore quit setting such a high standard for yourself. When making goals for oneself, approach yourself as you would a friend. Try concentrating on what you have done rather than what you have not. For a work-related project, you may include items such as reached a project milestone and outlined a plan of action. Remind yourself that you have worked on your communication and planned a date night if you are feeling overwhelmed in your relationship. If you feel overwhelmed as a parent, remind yourself, my children are happy and well cared for, and I always express my love for them. Talking with others in your situation might help you in identifying appropriate expectations. If you find that these tips don't help you, therapy might help you in feeling less overwhelmed. Consult a therapist if you are perpetually overwhelmed. While everyone sometimes feels overwhelmed, you should not always feel this way. Talk to a therapist about how you feel and what you can do to alter it if this is the case. They will teach you new ways of thinking and acting that will help you in feeling less overwhelmed. Consult your physician for a referral to a therapist or search online for one. It is crucial, guys, to know that it might take time to learn how to prevent feeling overwhelmed. Depending on where we are in our path, we might need to repeat some stages or stack many steps up in order to feel better. Give yourself compassion somewhere along this path. Recognize that you are not alone. In the pursuit of living our best lives, we are all in it together. Thank you for watching Relentless Man. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Share our channel, and look out for our up and coming videos. Until next time, guys.